Good, yeah. So let's start. Stake and yield is done. Stake and yield is done. We're already farming in Yearn Finance, or we start to farm later in Yearn Finance. Rewards are being collected and then being paid out later to everyone, but it's really just a test. Um, we have the user interface. It's basically some last test with Yearn Finance because we couldn't test it on the testnet. And then yeah, what we will add more and more strategies. We are working on a lot of partnerships. The APR is in Yearn Finance for the first test is super low. It's like 2%, 3%. Like we're not starting big here. Don't expect too much. Uh, then we will add more and more other farms. We're in talks with Nerf Finance, and those are the ones we will be integrating next. So there will be. So let's talk about all the things that are coming. Okay, so it's stake and yield. Okay, stake and yield. Okay. Then we're gonna launch the synchronizer on Binance Chain. Okay. Then we're gonna launch a bridge to bridge DEUS and DEA to Binance Chain. Then we're gonna launch the staking on Binance Chain. Then we will integrate stuff like Nerf Finance, where you get 150% APY. And I think a lot of you guys don't understand this, but let's make a quick calculation. Okay? So we have a million. Yes, there will of course, like, guys, you don't need to ask things like this. I would never in my life create a bridge and then only half of you could use it because the BPT token is not included. It will be always and always for all tokens, everything, everything. If we have 100 tokens, we will take care of all of them. There will not be one user being having a better stand at stuff because he has one token and the other has another token. But we will come to that. We will come back to that later. Um, let me just get you something here. Da, da. Let's say. Okay, let's say we have around 5,000 Ethereum. Okay, so we get APY is around 150 a year, meaning no, it's actually meaning we are doing around yeah 7,500 Ethereum worth of profit a year if everyone would stake everything, and divided by 365, 20 ETH a day. Okay, meaning we would have um, every day a personal like an internal buy pressure on DEA worth of 20 ETH. So the yield farm, let's say we have 20 ETH, meaning there is around 60k of buy pressure daily and around 1.8 million per month of daily of monthly buy pressure. Of course, if we have 500 Ethereum, it's 10 times less, and so on. And of course, everything could be different. APY could be different in the end, but this is what's going on with the stake and yield, and I think a lot of people are not understanding that yet. that this is what stake and yield is actually about. It's about creating that buy pressure on the DEA token. So, yes, we will be building that up further and further and further, meaning we will integrate more strategies. We will integrate a user interface where you can select your own strategy depending on which protocols you're maybe more interested about. And then we're gonna farm there, buy back DEA, and then airdrop it back to the contracts we are staking rewards. So you're actually like, if you're holding DEA just as a holder, you're benefiting from it. And of course, like also DEUS, the route is always the same. We get ETH, okay, and then we go into DEUS, and then we go into DEA. But let's talk about DEUS for a moment. So this is now set. We're just working on some minor things, and we are preparing the blog posts. But the DEUS token, the DEUS token, okay, will be. Have you guys gotten writers? Yes, we have now 3 writers. So the DEUS token will be removed and it will be renamed in dsETH, which stands for DEUS. And then there will be additionally a token released for DEUS DAI to yield farm on DAI yield farms, and also a token for Bitcoin. And then we could even take those tokens together and put them into liquidity pools, maybe on PancakeSwap, maybe on SushiSwap, and earn even more rewards on it. So this is and then the only token that will be left, like DEA will be the only ecosystem token. There will be no questions more anymore which coin to buy. It is only DEA. Everything else is you can basically hold Bitcoin in the DEUS ecosystem and yield farm with your Bitcoin. But if you wanna be involved with the project, there is only DEUS. DEA. So okay, what do you mean? Do you guys need ambassadors so we could spread the word? What are you referring to? We have a lot of like ambassadors. We are partnering with DAO Maker. That's the next thing. The buy pressure is paid out as rewards. Are there restrictions on redeeming rewards? No, no restrictions. Um, yeah, we are partnering. Like there are now three major uh, business partners that are helping with all the. But yeah, of course, uh, if you have people that want to become ambassadors, hit Puzzler up, okay? What do you mean? What's the approximate ETH cost? You mean like gas fees? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the gas fees. So yeah, and these are the. Let's get back. What did we have? Nerf finance, yeah, staking rewards, staking on Binance Chain. Then the next thing will be moving to Phantom and doing the same on Phantom, synchronizer, staking. We already have a partnership there with one of the biggest liquidity providers. And then ultimately we will do a cross-chain Bancor. Okay, so there is an AMM on all chains and you can buy and sell deals on all chains for the same price. Yes. And then we will create a cross-chain market maker for all tokens with it. Yeah, yield farming on all chains, uh, and market maker on all chains simultaneously. Yes. Phantom, then Avalanche, and then yeah, I think Matic. Matic goal is to be on 50 chains end of the year, something like that. Yes. So how is that possible? How is that possible? Let's talk about this. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have been witnessing the TrueBit mania the last days. And you probably maybe also read what people think of TrueBit and also what Vitalik Buterin is thinking of TrueBit. And we now have to, at this point, have to basically admit that we built a serious competitor to TrueBit. And while TrueBit is more focusing on scaling on Ethereum, and this is will be also something we're focusing on, we are focusing for now on the DeFi space. And our goal is to create those bridges in a decentralized manner. And there will be soon an officially revealing of what this is exactly about. What's the name of that new protocol? Um, and this will also be the airdrop, meaning there will be a new token together with that new system in order to incentivize node hosters. And it will be the first fully decentralized node network for off-chain computation and for oracles, bridges, and we already partnered with a lot of people, a lot of launchpads, a lot of other projects, and our goal is that most of DeFi will be building on our off-chain, decentralized off-chain network of nodes. So yeah, that will be revealed soon. White paper, like everything, and what we built, and then yeah, DEUS community will be at the front of that launch, and yeah. So that's the most like we basically we started building our own oracles, and we soon realized that others need something like this too. After SNX hit me up and asked me about our oracles and how we work with them. And yeah, so from now on, there's a lot of projects that I was talking to, and every time when I ask them, like they have some kind of off-chain scripts or stuff that is maybe off-chain, some scripts or some maybe an oracle, maybe that. And always when I ask this, like how are you solving this in a trustless manner, decentralized? They never like basically there is no answer for it. And the protocol we built is the answer to it. And there is also like already a YouTube video on my channel. Maybe a few of you saw it. It was there for like it's there for some. Basically, what we built, we are having a response time of 300 milliseconds. You saw it when I posted the screenshot. So this will be, yeah, I'm pretty excited for it, what we can do with it. And we will be building most of those things we will be using to build cross-chain stuff for DEUS, but we will also help every other project to integrate all of the cross-chain uh, bridges, oracles, but also off-chain computation like scripts or a lot of other things. A lot of other things can be and will be done with it. I actually think that at some point, if you're not using our new protocol in your crypto project, you will be left behind because we built something, okay, and now with that protocol, we built an oracle on top of it, and that oracle is 100 times faster than any other oracle that was out there and can support 1000 times more assets. And we built it in a very short period amount of time compared to other projects, how long they were building. And it is because of that new protocol that this was possible. So other projects will maybe start using the stuff we built. For example, they use our oracle. But as soon as they realize like on what that oracle is built on top, they will also start using it. And when they start using that protocol to build DeFi applications that are 1 million times more powerful than any other thing, they will also need to, like other projects will need to use the same in order to stay competitive. We don't need to copyright the code because it's just a network of nodes and you can't copy the network. So if there is a project and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just copying the code, but then I have to host 100 nodes and then I'm just fucked. So you can't copy the network. That's basically the point. So yeah, even if someone is like copying the code, even if we would copyright it, maybe they built it in a different way, but it's really the network. It's the same as like Bitcoin. You cannot copy it because you cannot copy the nodes. Even if you are changing the block size and going on Twitter and telling everyone that Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin, still Bitcoin got way more nodes. So yeah, I think Band was making jokes because he hates Uniswap. Okay, so this is basically what we were building for the last months and weeks. What we were building for the last months and weeks, and why everything was so quiet. So from now on, as soon as as soon as we're getting the go from DAO Maker and the other partners that they're ready to get the word out, I would say, uh, we will start launching everything. Maybe 2 to 3 launches per week of complete like stuff that we maybe like let's say you have the vault launch and the synchronizer launch in 1 week, okay? And then next week you have the next launch. Can you tell us more about hosting nodes? So D12 dead. I give you an installer file, okay? Like I give you a file, you host the server and install like start the file and that's it. And there will be no minimum stake. Like you can like we are built differently, okay? I'm not like, oh, you need at least 5,000 tokens. Yes, everything will be open source. Of course. You will be able to build it from source or you will be able to download the installer when you're not that technical. What's the main token utility from for DEA form Ethereum? So what's the main? Yeah, we should have a trillion node hosters. What's the main token utility for DEA at the like you're getting fees for DEA, and you will be able to trade with less slippage. You will be able to trade special tokens the same as before. Man, GV Trader, how should I know what the API will be like? We didn't even know what the API will be like for DEUS staking in the morning when we woke up. We didn't know what the API was in the evening. How should you predict that something like that? How do you know the node like is not? Yeah, because like if the node is malicious, he will get slashed. He will lose his stake. As easy as that. So he can enter in the system, do something, and will get his stake slashed immediately. And there will be always like, yeah, it is the layer 0 we were talking about. Exactly. So let's explain it quickly to Bessie B. So let's say you have a node, okay? So in the node there is an application installed. And that application is basically saying data, the data that I want, or that thing that I want, it is worth, per transaction, it is worth $100, okay? So if a node is now making a transaction, he needs to have a minimum of $100 of stake. And if the transaction he's performing is malicious, he will lose that $100. So it is basically, there is no minimum stake for the node to host the node itself, but it's possible that some applications are saying we are only working with we will only work with nodes that have a minimum stake of that, or each transaction needs to have a backing of that. So it is fully customizable. It's a similar system than rollups. And that could be potentially a thing that we will work on some rollups. And yeah, it is basically the same. Okay, so there is not risk of multiple small stake nodes trying to harm the network. No, it's not. You need to think completely different. It is not like uh, the amount of tokens you have is your voting power. That's not how it is. It's not a blockchain, okay? It's not like there is a lot of, you can stake a token and then you have a voting power, and if you have enough votes, you can change stuff. Every transaction will be seen differently, and you will be taken responsible for every transaction that you did. And if you did something wrong, you will be slashed for every transaction that you did wrong. And you will be slashed exactly the amount that the application is wanting for that transaction. So there is zero economical incentive. If not, you're losing money. If you're coming to the system doing something malicious, you will only lose money. There will be no possible way to gain this, like economically gain something. So yeah. But of course there is a every application needs to agree on specific terms and specific, yeah. For example, for oracles it's pretty easy. For oracles where you're trading on the oracle price. For bridges it is pretty easy. For computations and other forms of data, it's maybe a little bit more complicated to agree on the amount of on the value of the transaction. But the system is basically built differently. Currently you have, let's say, this is computational power, okay, and this is value. And before crypto, we were basically going up on that ladder, and now with crypto, we're basically going in that direction. And the protocol that we built can combine both. You will have computational power and value. And the value will be ensured by the stakes, by the node's collateral, and therefore you will have access to any computational power. And like in basically in Ethereum, you're paying for the computational power. Okay, you're paying for the computational power, and the more computational power you use, the more you're paying. In our system, we will be paying for the value that the transaction has. You will be paying for the value instead of the computational power. You can have unlimited computational power, but you're basically paying for the collateral the nodes are providing. And you can even do it like this. Okay, you can say, okay, I don't need like. Then the next thing is, okay, like in our system, you can also have a lot of speed. Okay, so let's say you want a lot of speed, like what we did, 300 milliseconds. Okay, is possible, but therefore you maybe need to put up a lot more stake. Okay, another system could basically say, okay, maybe our speed is not so important, and we're also good with 3 to 10 seconds, but we want to acquire the stake from more nodes and add up on it. So everything everything is basically customizable. That is the big idea. You can also install some form of consensus mechanism in your apps, and yeah, go there from there. Um, will the new token and DEA be backed or correlated somehow? Isn't everything correlated? Like, not sure how to answer that question. So you can choose between speed. Again, BCB, do you need special requirements? The apps the apps are saying the requirements. For example, let's say we have we have Yearn Finance, okay, and Yearn Finance is now using our protocol, and they are upgrading to Yearn Finance AI, okay? And now they're having some kind of AI algorithms installed on the node network, okay? And then they have like 4 or 6 nodes, and they're running their AI computations and pushing their data, like the yeah, results, the results of that calculations on chain, okay? So maybe now Yearn Finance says, okay, that AI algorithms, they cannot run on the Raspberry Pi, okay? For this, we need at least a node with some form of GPU power. They need to have at least imagine it like this, okay? You have a computer game, okay? For example, like you're not like you're not asking Windows is like, hey Windows, um, I want to install Windows, and I'm thinking like, what special hardware requirements do I need in order for something? In the end, it depends on the app you're installing. If you're installing, I don't know, some form of games, you will need a better computer than when you're installing Word. So it is all about the apps. Like every app will have other hardware requirements, probably. Yes, okay, good. Uh, the redistributed rewards that you get from stake and yield do correspond to the special rewards for pausing the stake. No, Wawa Crypto. The special rewards is that new protocol token that I just talked about. And maybe Buffelman, you're maybe asking if there is a direct correlation of the use of that protocol with the DEA token, and other than we are building on top of that, no. other than you that you are getting special access to it from the beginning? No. Do you need the token to get do you need DEA to get special access for now? Yes. So of course there will be some form of network effect, but I think in the long term it would be like very unwise to have that token and now there is a different token and they're somehow directly correlated. I think it is way more beautiful and elegant if there is a correlation, but it's not a fixed obvious correlation of you do this and X is getting this and then yeah. So but of course uh, there will always be a correlation. If not because of the reason that we are building a lot of applications on top of it for the DEUS network. Good, good, good. No, 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 no. The marketing already started. The marketing already started. We already have a lot of partnerships. Yeah, I would love a grober Gewinn. I would love if the microphone would have worked. But yeah. How many announcements can we expect? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe 30, 50. What sort of partnerships are they? Uh, like, because we're a protocol, what would be the most obvious thing to partner with? If we are a protocol, who are we gonna partner with? What do we want? We want to have other partners that are incubating other projects. So this would be from a strategic standpoint, the best partners. So yeah, we need a lot of projects to build on top of it. Exactly, and we need to get people that can can help us with that. And of course, we help the projects. The projects that are building on our protocol will be a lot of like will be they will have a better outcome in the end. They will do better than before. So we need to help them. And we need people that help us to reach those projects. Yes. Thanks, Ross. Do you think the new protocol will be able to solve the remake? I think that that protocol could be the closest thing to Skynet that could ever be built. Because it's a decentralized network of like it's a decentralized operating system where you have like you can install any applications and they are communicating with each other through that protocol. So potentially if you install an application that is able to these projects, other projects. Yes, there are projects that are already using the technology. Uh, good. Yeah, it was a Katy Perry ringtone. Good. Enough for today. We need to save some of the alpha for next week. You're non-stop working. Yeah, I'm non-stop working, but I'm fine with that. I'm actually for me it's the other way. I'm not. Uh, I'm not feeling good when I'm not working all the time. And yeah, Max is also here. So he left. He left just before, and we are working on a great system like a leverage token where you can basically deposit. You can basically create a like Uniswap. You create a contract and then you have a free X leverage token for anything. Yeah. So that's great. I will not go to the beach. There will be no beach rounds this year. No beach at the bull run. That's for sure. Wow, is that near to being released? I would say a month. Good. Okay. I'm pretty sure Puzzler will get Vitalik on the stream someday when we solve the roll up problem. Puzzler is the guy to get in contact with Vitalik. He always yeah, yeah. Tell him Puzzler. Good. See you soon. See you soon. Bye bye. Was nice stream. Thank you. Thank you guys. Was really cool. I loved it.